So in this first chapter, we are going to be talking about pre-production, specifically taking the script or whatever material you're using and figuring out how we're going to prepare ourselves to then shoot this material, whatever it is. And I like to start out with a quote by Ang Lee, a very famous director, Academy Award-winning director. And when he was first starting out, he used to have this little post-it in his trailer in his office, and it said, "Any problem in production could have been fixed in pre-production." Okay, I'm a really firm believer in that, because if anything comes up, if you have a backup plan, if your camera goes down, if you have another camera on standby, if one light goes out, well, do you have a globe for that light? Do you have another light altogether that will fix the problem? That much thinking ahead is what's going to make you as a cinematographer, you as a director, film, it doesn't matter what you do, it's going to make you a better filmmaker, or any project you're doing. You're just going to have a better sense of, if there's a problem, I can solve it. Okay, so as we talk about pre-production, and again, I'm a cinematographer who's a big believer in the script or the material, whatever it is. Okay, what are your initial impressions when you read it? And keep in mind, the first time you read a script or a treatment or any idea, you're going to have initial thoughts. There's going to be images in your head. And it's really important to write those things down, because those are the things that draw you to the material in the first place. So have a list when you write your script, okay? I also urge you to be in a really controlled environment. Get away from your distractions. Turn your phone off. If you're married, you have kids, try and do it when they're sleeping or when there's downtime in your day. Get away from the world around you to get invested in the world in front of you on the page. It's going to be really the first time you're going to have this objective look. It could be one of the only times you have an objective feel and look for this script. So embrace it. Take every opportunity you can to be inspired in this moment. Get crazy. Now is not the time to think practically when you first read a script. Let your ideas just flow and be wild and imaginative. When you get to reality, then you can start to say, okay, well, I have these amazing ideas. Well, how can we make it work, or how can we do something close to it? But for now, just let your imagination run wild. So that's kind of the first aspect of this is, your initial impressions, your individual experience with the material. Okay, next we're going to really that's when we start talking to the director. Okay, we've read the material, we have ideas, we've found some looks we like, we found some movies we like, we found some reference material, whatever it is. That's the kind of stuff we're going to bring into a conversation with the director. But again, with the director, if you're going to be working with the director, that is, they have an idea of what they want for the script as well. Depending on if they're extremely collaborative or if they're just kind of they know exactly what they want in their head. It's your job as a cinematographer to be very liquid and adapt to any situation that you're getting put into. Because again, we're all trying to make the same movie or project, whatever it is. We're all trying to hopefully tell the same story. So getting on the same page is a really important aspect of that. And again, that starts with communication. So the director's going to come in with his ideas or her ideas, and you're going to come in with your ideas, but you want to make sure that it all meshes together to tell the same story. Because if you guys are on the same page, if you guys are on different pages, it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to make a movie together or a project together, whatever it is. So collaboration, communication is just vital and key. Start it early, do it often. It is a massively overlooked step of production. Is pre-production. People, you've got so much to do. You've got all these other things you have to do. You have to crew up. You have to get equipment. You have to get your locations. You got to get your talent or your actors, whoever's going to be in it. That we all forget sometimes to talk about all the things that are so important. So let's talk about some of those other things now. Crewing up, making a gear list. These are important aspects, and it helps you mentally prepare for the job you're about to do. So if you go to the locations, you understand the lights you need, the camera you need, the tripod, the lenses, how you're going to move the camera. You're going to use a slider, you're going to use a dolly, whatever these things are. With whatever budget you have, start to make a list of those things. Especially when you read the script, because you're going to have specialty shots. You're looking through a peephole. Okay, now I have to have a fisheye lens in order to shoot through, to get that look through a peephole, through a door. Sometimes there's specialty lights that are required, or you want You want the camera to be very fluid, so you're gonna either get a Steadicam operator or you're gonna make your own Steadicam, but you know this is how you want it to feel. So this is the time you start making that list. So I'm gonna give you a to-do list of things you really want to focus on as you start prep, as you get material, as you start your project. So one, read the script, the treatment, the information, know it inside and out. Break it down. Know what you want to do in what pieces and how it's going to work for you to tell a story throughout. Whether it's a feature film or it's a little PSA, you're going to want to break it down somehow, visually, structurally, with your lighting, with whatever. Write down your initial impressions with the script, for sure. I want you to definitely draw shots in your head. If you just make a little, crappy storyboard and just, draw stick figures if you can. The reason I became a cinematographer, I can't draw. I just can't. But I love to express myself visually and creatively, and this is my medium. But my storyboards are awful. It doesn't matter. As long as you can communicate the value that you see in the shot to someone, whether it be verbal, start visually and then verbally, that's where it becomes effective.